Hey, what's up guys, how's it going? So, I want to try something new today. I was inspired by this guy named Bithead1000, and he's just essentially an old man who talks random stuff in retro gaming for an hour. Of course, mine's not going to be an hour, but yeah, this is totally inspired by him, and I figure, hey, if a boomer could do it, why can't I do it? And I'm saying that because this guy could be my dad, and that's honestly kind of weird, but go check out his channel.
And they're like, yeah, we're gonna execute the hamburger.
And obviously that was a clip of him out of context, but he mostly talks about retro gaming and other things like that. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to try out a new format. You know, just shoot the shit for like 10-15 minutes and call it a day. Now obviously I'm not going to make this a daily thing where I just talk about random stuff for 15 minutes. There's obviously still going to be, you know, scripted and formatted videos. Like tomorrow, which is August 8th, 2022, I'm going to be uploading a video about a certain console maker that isn't really around anymore. Hint, hint, I guess. Yeah, that was cringe, but you get the point. I guess another purpose to this is to talk about things that wouldn't normally fit in a video. For example, 90s architecture. Hear me out on this. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but as I was leaving the flea market, I saw this Walgreens, and it's weird how you could tell certain buildings were made from a certain era or a certain decade. For example, Walmarts. You could also tell a big difference between a modern Walmart and a Walmart that was made in the 90s or the 2000s. And I'm thinking, why is that? Why is there such a stark difference between buildings made back then and buildings made now? Why is it that Taco Bell went from this to this? Another example, Burger King. There's an old vintage Burger King hidden behind an airport or something. Why is it that the 80s and 90s and even the 70s have such an aesthetic when it comes to everything, from buildings to clothes to music, stuff like that? Why is it that these decades have such strong roots and the modern times just don't? And yes, you may say that I am a bit crazy for this just because I saw an old Walgreens that was made in the 90s. But in my opinion, I feel like these are definitely questions to just ponder on. What is it that the modern world is lacking that the 80s, 90s, and 2000s had? And no, I'm not going to be a boomer and just say the internet, because that's way too easy of an answer. There's obviously more. I mean, just look at vaporwave aesthetics. Those were obviously aesthetics that were around in the 80s and early 90s. And this doesn't have to apply to just America. I mean, look at City Pop. Obviously I can't play all of it because of copyright, but still, the point that I'm getting at is there was something about the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s that just had something strong about it. But look, we're not going to go too deep into this. I think we are already going off the deep end. Let's just talk about a lighter topic. But either way, I gotta take a breather. We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Some guys like to just play around. Other guys want to rock and roll, and the Nintendo Advantage controller is the perfect instrument for all you rockers. The choice is all yours. Get the Advantage, only from Nintendo.
And we're back, ladies and gents. Let's move on to another topic. Now, I'm pretty sure anybody who collects retro games could relate to this, but let's talk about filler. You see, I have a lot of filler in my PS2 and my Genesis collection, and now I know I talked about the cheapest consoles to collect for before, but because they're so cheap, they could cause a lot of filler in your collection. We'll just say that. You know, there could be a lot of games that you just don't really play or don't really like. Let's just be honest, at some point it stops being a collection and it starts being a hoarding issue. Not to say that I've reached that point, but I find the helpful thing is to just get all the filler that you don't really like or don't really play and just sell it. Sell it to your retro gaming store, sell it to eBay. Although I definitely recommend doing it on eBay because, you know, you can actually sell it for what it's worth, but still. All the story is, if there's a lot of filler in your collection, get rid of it, sell it, and buy some, you know, actual stuff that you really want. Like today, I just kind of splurged and bought Pikmin for the GameCube. That's like a $60 to $70 game. And that's only because I sold the store some filler games I had in my collection. But enough of that ramble. Now, for some reason, I've been playing a lot of GameCube games recently, and does anybody else leave the console on for like 30 minutes and just listen? Like, obviously, we all know the GameCube menu music is just the Famicom startup sound just slowed down. We all know that by now. Just sitting down listening to the GameCube menu music, it's just kind of relaxing. But again, hey, maybe I'm weird for that, but One thing that I want to point out is whenever you put in a game in the GameCube from the menu and it has a little press start thing, I kind of noticed something the other day. When you put in a first party GameCube game from the menu, it has like a little tagline at the bottom. And out of the 25 years that I've been playing GameCube, I've never noticed this. I mean, again, it doesn't matter, but still. The fact that there is still little hidden things to find on old game consoles to this day is still somewhat interesting, you know? I mean, hell, even in games, there's still little Easter eggs in games that people haven't found till 20, 30 years later. Like in Super Mario 3, there's this glitch where you can play the original Mario Bros. I think that we've known these games for so long and there's still things to find is somewhat interesting. I mean, another example, the original Xbox, obviously the menu was the Apollo sound, but that wasn't really found out till about, I'd say, 2014, I believe. Either way, one of the old people that worked on the OG Xbox revealed that the menu noises are from the Apollo space mission. But again, there are still little fun things to find about these old consoles and old games. And I would say that's like a small reason why I kind of love this stuff. You know, playing your old childhood games again and finding something new, something hidden that you didn't, find before. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of exciting. But ladies and gents, I think I'm gonna have to wrap this up. Like I said, the whole purpose of this is just, me talking shit by myself for like 5 to 10 minutes. Of course, I have to cut it short today because, well, I had nothing to talk about. But of course, as this gets, I would say, a bit more polished, we'll have topics and all that shit written down. But yeah, I'm hoping I could do this like every weekend or something like that. Just shoot the shit, talk about what's going on, obviously not get too deep, but you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just want to try something out, try something new. And like I said in the beginning, there should be a regular video out tomorrow, so I guess look forward to that. But yeah, if there's anything you guys want me to talk about, just tone down the comments. It doesn't have to be retro, it doesn't have to be modern, just if it's reasonable, tell me down in the comments and yeah, I'll talk about it. Oh, also, one more thing. I probably shouldn't do this, but if you want to join a Discord, it's kind of dead in there, but I wanted to turn it into an active Discord server where, people talk every day and shit. But either way, we're going off the rails. Ladies and gents, if you want to, like, subscribe, do whatever you're going to do, Nourish, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Shocking? Not as shocking as this.